We have a Minnesota Trump rally to look at where he's back making his fanatical claims, saying things that nobody outside of the cult would even have the least bit of belief in. So I pulled a few of these clips to look over and just break down the sheer ridiculousness of them.
We're going to give immunity to police so they can do their job. I'm giving federal immunity to police officers so they can do their job.
Saying this in the wake of Sonia Massey being executed by a cop is just absolute nasty work. The last thing the police need is federal immunity. Qualified immunity is bad enough and shouldn't exist. There should absolutely be accountability and responsibility for those who are meant to protect our laws and do so with dangerous weapons. But Trump is just like, hey, from one criminal to another, who needs it, right? Fatal police shootings have been rising year over year. Cops have gotten increasingly more reckless and dangerous in the way they handle crime and respond to it. You've got cops who take evidence and things out of holding, corrupt cops, those doing racially biased stops and attacks, and Trump wants them to be immune for all of that. This is just one corrupt force looking out for another. Cops probably should be afraid and hesitant to just shoot people in unjustified situations. I couldn't imagine how it would look if they were doing this with nothing to worry about, with how they act with the little bit they do have to worry about currently.
I want to be nice. They all say, I think he's changed. I think he's changed since 2 weeks ago. Something affected him. No, I haven't changed. Maybe I've gotten worse, actually, because I get angry.
And with this, I never want to hear a right-winger try to take the moral high ground ever again. This is Trump literally mocking the narrative about him changing and looking more towards unity and not being the one who turns up the volume in our rhetoric because MAGA was dumb enough to actually fall for it. Here he is literally saying, no, actually, I'm going to be worse. I'm going to do more insults, more attacking the other side, be more divisive, and more ripping at the fabrics of unity in this country, whatever I can do to bring people to my side at all costs. The truth is, this is the only way Trump knows how to be. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. He couldn't be a unifying figure if he tried. He wants to hand and foot lead this country into civil war, and his side will still be trying to take the moral high ground when it inevitably happens because of this man.
If they don't cheat, we win this state easily, okay? They cheat. They have no shame. They cheat. Do you understand that, you crooked people? They're the most crooked. They cheat. They cheated in the last election. And they're going to cheat in this election, but we're going to get them.
The fact that Trump claims Democrats tried to steal an election he actually tried to steal is just absolutely asinine. And the fact that Republicans support him on the basis of protecting election security while voting for someone who tried to subvert it every single step along the way is even more insane, if not just equally asinine. Trump enlisted fake electors in 7 states, not alternate. Alternate electors are certified by the state. His absolutely were not, but he still had them signed certificates fraudulently representing that they were, while also meeting on the day that these legitimate electors did to cast their votes, pretending to be the legitimate electors. Then he pressured Mike Pence to accept his fraudulent electors, knowingly fake electors. When he refused, he then sent the rioting group on January 6th specifically to pressure Mike Pence to get him to accept his knowingly fraudulent electors, spreading lies to him and to other officials as he attempted to pressure everyone around him that told him that they were false. Every single person around Trump told him that there's no evidence of the things you're claiming, that there's no fraud, there's no outcome determinative fraud. The VP, senior leaders of the Justice Department, the Director of National Intelligence, CISA, White House attorneys, senior staffers, state legislators, and federal courts, they all came to him and told him there's no evidence of anything he's claiming and his allegations were meritless. There were lawyers who told him that the elector scheme that he's plotting was illegal and not going to work, and these are the people who said, but we could probably try it. Yet he still repeats these lies to this day while also spreading knowingly untrue lies about election fraud that were told to him when he came up with them that they were false. In Georgia, in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, Nevada, in Arizona, his attorney general, Republicans in these states all told him they were false. Yet he still carried on to attempt his coup of the democracy. And anybody who disagreed with them, they're a rhino and they're in on the conspiracy. And to this day, he still repeats them while pretending anything to care about election security, and the mindless drones in his cult just eat this up. And another point that I want to drive home to end the video on is that most MAGA Republicans would be fascists if you just explained it to them without saying the word. They'd be like, yeah, like if in 2024 they lost the election, Trump lost, but he thought it was rigged, you could ask them, hey, well, would you like trust the courts if they, ruled in and said that there weren't any evidence? And most of them are going to say, well, no, of course not. I want to do that. Well, okay, well, what about Congress? What if Congress came in and said, hey, there was nothing, we didn't find any fraud, all of this. Would you believe Congress? And they'll say, no, we can't trust the government. The government, no, we absolutely can't trust them. Well, okay, what about if like the DOJ and the FBI and all these different departments did investigations and they found no fraud either? They would all say, no, we can't trust anything. We can't trust the FBI. We definitely can't trust the DOJ. What do you think? Like, are we just slaves to the government or whatever they'll say? But you'll believe Trump, right? You'll believe just one man. Well, that's a king then. That's authoritarianism. That's fascism. And that's what MAGA supports.